Welcome to
Core Memory Unlocked.
Hello?
Hey.
Thing on a different device in the future, because I don't know if it's my like thing I use it on is just so wrapped up. I'm always like a second behind. Like, you see the intro before me, so if I look like I'm dancing and there's nothing happening, it's because I still hear it.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what's also weird is, like, I also am delayed. I don't know how it ends up coming out at the end, the final product, but I know I'm delayed coming to you because I hear myself speak because I'm here. And then I can kind of hear myself come through your headphones. And just like a little bit, if it's quiet enough, and I could hear the like a second or two delay where I'm like, oh, he's just now hearing what I said, especially if I say something really loud.
Well, let me turn it down, you fucking yell. And I'm the loud one.
I mean, whatever.
Welcome in to Core Memory Unlocked 93, and then we are in the midst of spooky season. I have my HHN new Ghostbusters glass.
Right on.
Look at that bad mother sucker right there. A little Stay Puft action, a little fucking Slimer somewhere. Oh yeah. We are here. We're getting spooky up in this Core Memory Unlocked, and we're starting it, I think, off with Addams Family.
Yes, we are gonna. This is a spooky warm up. Yeah, they're
kooky and they're spooky.
They're kooky and they're spooky. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that fits. It fits. We know what we're doing here. We know what we're doing here on this show.
We do. And this movie is a sequel to the previous year's Addams Family, where it ends with Morticia saying, "I'm with child." And I am shocked that we are beginning this movie with that. Like, it's literally picking right up from it.
Bang bang. And then that baby's delivered very quick.
Baby's really quick. But
they got right into it.
Before we begin, I'm going to go to my past self because I got to say something. Okay. Past self, what do you need to say, baby? Then you include all the other people. You include the bakers who are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it saying it? The mama who, by the way, wants to fuck her son, even though it's not her son.
Yeah, okay. I knew that was coming up.
Oh, you didn't think we weren't going to talk about, put it on the poster now, the horniest movie of 1991?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that? Welcome to the horniest movie of 1993. They literally should have just put the slogan was, remember the things that got your rocks off in the first one? We're going to push those rocks even harder.
Yeah.
We're going to cage them, and you're going to watch this movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's true. It's a horny movie.
It's so horny. And Mom's the one part where he's going to go talk to Fester, and Fester's in bed with the magazine, and he takes the magazine, has it this way, turns it, and goes, Mom, what?
It's weird.
Then Joe Cusack's got thing on the shoulder. Immediately.
Upon meeting the family. Well, okay, so that's the other thing we need to talk about is the hot bombshell sex woman is Joan Cusack. And I didn't know she had it in her. When I was a kid, I didn't realize that was Joan Cusack. So going back and watching, I'm like, how did they make no slight to Joan Cusack, but they made her hot as fuck.
Right. Well, they gave her the blonde hair, blonde wig, whatever it is. They gave her push-up bra. We gave her the tight clothing. Like, a
But she
lot
was
of this movie works because of Joan Cusack,
Well, I
at
was
least
gonna
in the
say-
Fester world.
Yeah, because it could have been like the casting could have been like a Jenny McCarthy or something like that, like somebody who is more obviously hot. But I do love that they picked somebody like Joan Cusack, who is really funny and also a great dramatic actor. She's wonderful, and I don't think she really plays this kind of part that often. But man, did she knock it out of the park? She's hot. I would not mind her sucking on my finger.
Especially if it's not attached to my body. No, I think you're right there, is that she is obviously, it almost comes off as one of those, why didn't we do this before with her?
Yeah.
But then the reason why the character even works harder into the paint is because Joan Cusack is funny as fuck. And her playing this goddamn psycho is the reason why she was obviously cast for this role. Because when you think of someone like in the era of where we did have Pam Anderson's, or if we had Jenna McCarthy, we needed, and this is before Jenna McCarthy, actually, if you think about it, because I don't think she shows up to like basketball in 95, 97 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think this would have been the role of, like, remember Naked Gun 33 and the third? That's right, 33 and the third.
Right.
Where who's the porn star that's in it? Whatever. She was a blonde. You would think she would have gotten this role. This role calls for a comedic actress, because she is going to be going.
Who can carry all of those beats. She had to be more than just sexy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
1,000%. And she was great.
So we'll get to her. So the beginning of this movie, as we said, the baby is born, and there's some kind of thing going on where Wednesday and Pugsley think that the baby is going to take their love, and one of them has to die, take the parents' love. So they keep trying to kill the baby, which I think
the rumor was their parents is going to kill. Well, I guess this is what Wednesday was saying, is going to kill one of them to make room for the baby. So they're basically also trying to save their own lives.
Right. 100%.
Because one of them's got to go.
One of you's got to go, which I love the bit. I think it's a great bit. Until finally we get also Joan Cusack, who is interviewing to become the nanny to the baby.
Yeah.
And immediately, like, when she comes in, she does the finger sucking, she's looking.
Yeah.
But then Fester's also
Seduces everybody.
Right. And Fester's looking at her being like, oh, I got the eye. And something obviously seems amuck here. That's a little thing for a future episode.
Amuck.
Which then we go and find out that she is this person that marries people and then kills them for money.
Correct.
Now we got a lot of problems here, Justin. Like, as much as I want to be okay with this fucking character.
This movie... Okay, go ahead.
It has no idea what it's doing. It's making up plot lines for, like, a backstory that have no window of, like, because is she just bad with money and can't handle any of the money? And then B, won't you think the cops after 2 or 3 would be like, she's been involved in each of these things.
Yeah.
What's going on?
They know that this isn't like a serial killer. This is somebody who's marrying people, and they make it seem like she's still a mystery woman. Like, we don't know who she is.
We don't know who she is.
She's a murderer. She's a serial murderer. Even though she's married all these people, we know all of her. Even if she was using like an alias, I can't imagine it being that difficult. But all right, this movie is full of plot holes like that. But that's not why we're here.
No.
We're here to serve. The movie is here to serve the Addams family and the characters, which is what I love. I do think the story and plot line of this movie, it falls apart and it's pretty dumb and it's not very entertaining. But man, do I love this family so much. I love all of their bits. I love all of the actors that portray them. I love their characters. I could just spend so much time with this family.
I also think that they do a good job, and they did the sequel thing. I think a lot of sequels do this, but they separate the cast. Like, eventually, because Joan Cusack's like, oh, let's send the kids to summer camp.
Yeah, I agree.
They seem
Which
bored.
is also dumb. You don't hire a nanny. They hired a nanny. This is another one of those plot holes. They hired a nanny because they're like, well, we can't take care of these two kids trying to kill our baby. We can't do all of this. So let's get a nanny. The nanny immediately goes, enroll your two oldest kids into a summer camp. At which point they should just be like, all right, well then we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, then what's the point of you?
But then she also just very quickly just quits her job as the nanny anyway, just to be
like the baby's still alone.
The whole thing just falls up. Like the whole reason why she's there in the first place immediately gets rid of. But anyway, all right, keep going. But yeah, they split them up.
They split the family up like it's fucking Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And I do enjoy the portion subplot with Christina Ricci's Wednesday
the summer camp.
At this camp, because I was watching a thing, oddly enough, today talking about comedy horror, and this movie actually came up, and it was like, what was enjoyable about watching the summer camp portion is that the Addams family, because we love them and we want to be with them, they look normal compared to everybody at this camp, because it's a rich camp. The two lead counselors are pieces of shit. Like, they're just too goofy. And like, we're looking in the eyes from the Addams being like, who the fuck are these two?
Right. Yeah.
So I enjoy the fact that we get to there. I like Mercedes McNabb's character of the little blonde girl as the foil to Wednesday, which I'm pretty sure that's the same girl from the first movie. Remember at the beginning of or not the beginning, but in Addams Family 1, the
first one,
there's a Girl Scout, I believe.
Oh, interesting. I definitely did not put that together.
All right, but you tell me how you feel about said.
So I don't like the separate. I don't like the separation, because I like them with the family. I like all the family dynamics. Great. Right. But however, I also feel like this Wednesday and Pugsley is at summer camp at this because it's both it's like the Brady Bunch feel, which is kind of what the Addams Family it was made for. It's just to be in juxtaposition to the Brady Bunch. As the opposite of all of that, which is the whole bit. Right. And so it's got a bit of that, but then they're also like incredibly it's white privilege summer camp to the point like they're unapologetically racist. The summer camp counselors, the people are, not the movie, but they are the fact that they didn't even know how to pronounce the name. Was it Jamar or Jamal? I can't remember. Jamal. But they're like, but as soon as they got to different races, they were like, they could do it. We got a Jewish kid, we got this Middle Eastern kid, we got this black kid. Right. There was one set of black parents in that white audience towards the end of the movie. They didn't completely whitewash it, but it very much was that. I kind of, in a way, I feel like that would have also been a fun movie if it was just Pugsley and Wednesday go to summer camp. That could be the whole fucking movie. If they would have gone deeper into that kind of storyline. So I was happy with all of the bits that it kind of set up for them, but I also hated that they were just far away from the family for the most part and not.
I get that, and I think the reason that happened, I think it's because Christina Ricci was such a hit in that. If you put Christina Ricci in that storyline, this is the one time they want to use fucking logic. If you have Christina Ricci there the whole time, she's never going to trust.
That's true.
Debbie.
That's true.
She would try to foil her the whole time. It makes a different movie. I don't necessarily say it's even making a bad movie, but I think the whole point of doing this is, okay, she gets screen time. She gets to run rampant.
She gets to really shine.
We put her in a situation we're not used to. We're putting her in, like, instead of, dreary day, and it's great. Yeah, it's more like, okay, you're in fucking sunny California, but not really California.
Yes, right.
I want to talk about how that Fester, who obviously from the last movie has mother issues, with who took him over or whatever, but like how easily he is switched at any given moment, because he does end up marrying Debbie, and they're at their wedding night, and he's excited because he's a virgin. He's
Yes.
Never had it. But she
Yeah.
tries to kill him, which
Yeah.
that's my favorite bit of the movie is the fact that she tries to kill him and Fester's unfucking killable, which is great.
Yes.
Great bit. But my favorite is after he comes out of the bath because it didn't work or whatever, and he's like, "What? Come on, I need the puh. Give it to me."
Yes,
and she goes, "Well, you can't ever see your family again. That's the one rule." And he's like, "Oh, but what do you say?" And literally, the slip inside moment happens, and you kind of see it. And I can't believe we're watching a family movie.
Yeah, it's wild.
This movie is horny.
Called Family Values.
Family Values, aka slip it in and I'll never see my family again. Because then it keeps on rampant. It's like, oh no, like if you want, and it's got to be a banger because like he's like, not only am I all about it, you're going to make me look like old me again. Let's throw up that photo of old me.
Right.
Where is it? Come on. Where are you? Why aren't you showing?
I saw.
I see nothing. See, again, my computer is like, you'll never see anything.
Interesting. Yeah.
You'll never fucking do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, he's back up. Look, he looks almost exactly except the hairs. Besides looking like fucking Gru from Despicable Me. He is absolutely dressed the same kind of way. So, like, this girl, I think something in his head goes off where it's like, oh, it's her again. Which this leans to say he fucked her in the first movie.
Oh, right. Fucked his mom. Yeah.
It all makes sense, Justin.
Yeah, but but he also, but he was he's a virgin, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe. He wouldn't know. What if he keeps forgetting? Well, what if it was like she made up? But I do love that she's like, when she knows what we're doing it right now. Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Is that's what she used in the first movie. She's already used that gimmick. He knows better.
What's so wild about this choice is that they didn't need to make this movie horny. He could have just been obsessed. He could have just been in love with her. You know what I mean? Like he could have just done it for love and companionship. Right. And they didn't have to be like, no, but I do even love that what's her face? Oh my God, what's the mom's character in this? Morticia, thank you. I was going to say Moira, but I'm like, that's not it. Morticia. I love that she even recognizes that she has like a fucking sex hold on Fester, and she's like, I respect that. I know.
I love that too. I love that. She was like, how dare you take him over? I like that. And then even so, like, they all fucking understood her because by the time we get to the end of it, she's kidnapped she's got them all in fucking chairs about to fry their brain, and they're all just like weeping over her sob story about how she wanted fucking the ballerina Barbie, not Malibu. And I understand it. Like I was dying because they were so involved with her, and if she wasn't trying to kill them, they would have accepted her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she's a psychopath like them.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And they do like psychopaths.
They do.
But that's so funny.
I did look it up, and Mercedes is it McNabb or whatever? Fuck. I wish I knew how to talk.
Is this someone that I'm supposed to know who this is? Is she like
that's even better because you knew I was using her like real name, Mercedes McNabb. The reason why I also know her, which is why it's like I love that she is in the first one as the Girl Scout.
Okay.
When she comes to the house, that's her. So it's obvious like, oh, let's get that girl again because she did such a good job in that movie. Mercedes is actually in one of my all-time favorite series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show. Yeah. And she's in it from like season 1 on. And
who is she in? I've seen that show. Who is she?
She's Harmony.
I don't remember who Harmony is. It's been a long time.
Do you remember Spike?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember how Spike used to have Drusilla, but then Drusilla left him, and then he was just like banging vampires?
Yeah, yeah.
She was one of the vampires because in the
she was
series,
a vampire. She was on that side. Okay.
She was a friend of Cordelia who dies in season 3 and becomes a vampire. Okay. Then gets with Spike. Mm-hmm. and then shows up in the 5th season of Angel as like the receptionist or whatever. And she used to call Spike Blondie Bear. That was her character. Okay. But I fucking loved her in that show. So
anyway,
like,
okay, got it.
Seeing her in this,
she is right.
Okay,
Great.
Okay, guys.
Right.
I know who she is.
Right.
It's
kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. I think, okay, so my overall, so basically they kill Debbie because the kid who fucking gets launched to the fucking air.
Whatever.
Okay, no, actually, we're fast forwarding. We need to go back real quick. We're wrapping it up. When they are in summer camp, when Wednesday is in summer camp, they brainwash her to be smiling and all nice and go lucky because she's bad egg to them.
I do love that moment. I do love that moment for Wednesday and for Christina. I love Christina Ricci. I love her as Wednesday. I love this character. I wish there was just more of her. But I think she did a great job going from resisting a smile. You know what I mean? Like it was like kind of like growing out of her. I think she just did that. That cut I think was just so well done.
It is
by a child actor. She was so good. But anyway, all right. So so they brainwashed her,
and so now they're going to
just
put
by
on
making them watch like Disney movies and shit. This movie is so dumb. Like that's not a fucking thing. I can't just subject you to a day of Disney movies and then you just stop being Wednesday Addams or whatever. I mean, obviously she doesn't actually, but yeah.
Right.
It was insane. The whole summer camp was crazy. Like, okay, we need to go deeper into this.
We're about to.
every single time, like the Addams get caught doing something, they are met with the entire camp, with the counselors and all of the fellow camp goers.
The parents.
They're all together. They huddle around like they're like one of us, one of us. Like, it's insane that they're always together and then they just walk up. Like when they were trying to escape. The other thing we got to talk about is Bernard from the Santa Claus is in this movie.
Bernard from the Santa. Yes, he's the kid. He's the kid. He's the boyfriend.
The little Jewish kid with the allergies to everything.
He's in so much. You called him Bernard. Great. I love that you went Bernard from the Santa Claus. In my notes, I have written down Mr. Universe from Serenity.
There you go. Mr. Universe from Serenity is great too. That's a great one too.
Yeah. So
I watch the Santa Claus every year, so that's always just fresh in my mind.
Understandably so. So at the summer camp, they're going to put on this play. It's going to be the first Thanksgiving, and all the oddities are the Indians. Then the rich white people are obviously
God damn it, so racist. It's
so racist. It's so racist they didn't even know about it. But my favorite thing is when Wednesday puts on the switch that this has been her plan the whole time.
Yeah, right.
She delivers a monologue about how I really do feel everybody felt, and important today to be known.
The movie is self-aware, for sure.
And then they slaughter the entire fucking camp. Everyone must die. Like the counselors are on a pit being barbecued.
Burned alive,
Burned alive. And I shit you not until that baby got hit by the bowling ball at one end, flew up top to the airplane, where you saw Mercedes McNabb and parents next to her, I thought they were all dead.
Yes. They made it seem like she was roasted at the stake. Yeah.
I'm almost convinced that was a reshoot because test audiences were like, Wednesday killed an entire camp?
Yeah. Well, they tied Mercedes to a pole and poured gasoline around her.
All around it. Lights it.
Lights the match.
End of movie, I guess.
Crazy. It was bonkers. Yeah.
What?
And then you go. Well, because there's these kids that all come in like the Lost Boys from Hook with bows and arrows, setting everything ablaze, right? Like all the sets and stuff for the play is all set on fire, and then they get the camp counselors and they put them to a fucking stake and start roasting them up over a fire. But there is maybe 40 adults, the parents, and they kind of just pretend they're not even in that scene anymore. like
they're all sitting in the thing, and then they all run rampant,
and then they're just gone. Nobody's stopping these kids when you could easily stop it.
Fucking dead.
Right.
No one wants to smoke. Nobody wants to get got by any of these fucking kids, and especially the kid in the wheelchair tying up a person.
Oh,
like that was awesome.
Yeah, even the handicapped were not safe. They were not only just racist, but if you're handicapped, they're like, you're a piece of shit. You're not in our club. You have to have blonde hair and blue eyes if you want to be in our club.
Oh man. So then at the end, like I said, Debbie's got everybody because Fester didn't want to be with her.
How did she get everybody in electric chairs? How did she do that?
Because I told you.
Meanwhile, Gomez can take knives and throw them at his brother with such
without missing
accuracy. Yes, it just outlines him and pegs him to the Yeah,
that's the problem with this movie.
She got them all into electric. Just hard cut. She's got a gun on everybody, and then hard cut to they're all in electric chairs.
Right. That's the problem with this movie is that I feel like we haven't talked enough Morticia and Gomez, which was a very big prominent role in that first movie because they were the ones horny. They were the ones showing.
Yes.
And there's little glimpses that, but I feel like Angelica Houston has nothing to do in this movie.
Yeah.
I feel besides being like Debbie fucks. That's all she says this entire movie.
Agreed.
And I do like the bit where Gomez is having a mental breakdown because his kid's got blonde hair, and he's like, "Yeah,
which
that's
is
not my kid."
Weird plot point. It was just
that It literally served itself. Like he was blonde 1 minute and then back to Gomez.
Have a mustache and everything. Like I'm like, is that something that that's not something that happens? You can't just say if somebody gets stressed out because their family member left that they just turned blonde and they just look like that hasn't happened to any other kid. You know, could that happen to Wednesday or Pugsley? Or if they get too stressed out, they just turn into Mercedes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so that was such a and then they just, as quickly as they did it, they just decided to undo it. They're like, he's cured. Boom.
Who cares? He's fine. He's fine now because he wants to kill. So when Debbie hooks him up, and I think the answer to that question is that she knocks out probably Wednesday and Pugsley, but Fester's swamped by the boobs, so like just follow me to the chair. And Gomez and Morticia are all about it. They're like, this shit gets my rocks off. Okay.
I mean, now let's not forget the Addams family. They have a series of electric chairs for all of them in their house. Like that's just ready to go for them. Just ready to go.
So I feel like it was easy to get them in the chairs, and just like.
It was easier to get them in the chairs than it was to get the baby from the crib down to save the day.
But it became fucking mousetrap. But like he comes down, he switches the cords, which that doesn't even make sense because it's now connected.
That's not how that works. He's cut Also, I love this is the slowest moving electricity ever.
It's like
it moves so slow. We're like, and then if you stop it, it's not water. It's not a pipe. It's not water. It's electricity. It's instant. It's instant.
Then they fucking kill her, which she turns into a dust, but her credit cards are A-okay.
No. Well, that's what was her. Yeah, it was her soul, basically.
And then at the end, they're all happy. They're kind of giving us the same ending as before, except this time Mr. Universe is now looking like Gomez, so now I guess Wednesday wants to bang her dad. That's all I got.
Right.
And she's like, I'm going to scare my man to death. And then an arm comes out of Debbie's fucking grave, which doesn't make sense because once again, she was dust.
She was dust.
And that's the end of the movie.
I know.
No, you go.
Well, I was going to say because she what the very end of the movie is they're talking about how Wednesday would have killed her husband and not get caught. And one of the things she said is because she'd be doing it by scaring him to death. So then immediately after that, Mr. Universe goes and, looks over, pays his respect to Debbie for some fucking reason.
For some reason.
I don't know why they buried ashes, but whatever. So, and then Hank pops out and grabs him. and scares him. So I assumed that was maybe Wednesday, like fucking with him or something. And some kind of, I thought that was going to be the reveal, but it's not. There's no
like he would lift
it.
Like he'd lift his hand, and then fucking thing was the arm.
Right, yeah, something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she would have like a cheeky smile to it or whatever. But like, no, is Debbie coming back
killed
from
him.
the dead?
No, she killed him. She was like, I'm going to kill my man. She killed him.
Right. Okay.
She needed to make sure there was no witnesses from that fucking summer camp. He had to go.
There you go. I see. So he was scared to death in that moment.
100%.
Yeah.
So this movie as a whole for me is like, and it kind of is in the first one, but I feel like it was a little more tamed, and maybe you'll get this. I just feel like this goddamn movie lives in the world of like Airplane, Naked Gun. It's a spoof movie. But we're not aware that it's a spoof movie. Not once are we told, by the way, nothing makes sense.
Right, correct.
Because none of this makes sense.
There's no winking at the camera at any point. Mm-hmm. There's no, exactly. And so this movie did kind of fall apart a little bit for me. It was hard to get it together. I love the Addams Family so much, and I love this version of them, you know, compared to like the original television show. But like, and I love these actors as them. That I still enjoyed this movie. But yeah, the movie, but the plot, the writing of it, it was they didn't put much thought into it, and it was like, who cares? Let's just whatever. There's no logic to it.
It's watchable, especially if you can do the first one, and then you're like, well, let's do part 2 tomorrow.
Yeah,
I feel like that works.
Yeah. I agree.
The amount of space we've had to watch 1 and 2, fuck that. Like, I feel like in 1993, this works because it is like, there's not as much content out there, obviously.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, I don't think this movie holds up as good as the original.
No, I agree.
I think it laid too much comedy into it. Less horror.
I agree. I feel like it was better in my memory than it was like having to watch the full movie. You know what I mean? Like like Joan Cusack, it's great. You know, the summer camp thing is great, and like all these little bits work as like pieces that are also great. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to watch that. So, but as soon as you put it together as a whole movie, it's just kind of like, what is this?
Right. And I feel growing up wise, more people will say more about Addams Family Values than the original one, because I think with the way the first one was, I think that was a summer hit, but like kind of surprisingly.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
This one was the throw money at it. Get every fucking thing that you need.
Absolutely.
We're going to make Nintendo games. We're going to put you in McDonald's commercials. We're going to do everything.
They already knew they had the success. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's why, because our nostalgia for everything they showed before. It's fine. The movie's watchable, like I said, if you want to.
It's watchable. It's watchable.
Sadly, this is the last time that we see Gomez as Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the thing I want to ask you, because I remember as a kid kind of talking about it, especially right after his death, is that there were rumors for a Addams Family 3. And then they actually made it, and I wonder if it was based on the script in 1998, which is only, so if you think about it, if this movie came out in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 years later, so if they were planning to do it, he dies, then they can't do it because he died.
Yeah.
So they have to rebrand it. They came out with Addams Family Reunion.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this movie?
No. What do you mean they came out with this?
There is a movie called Addams Family Reunion. Okay. And
I'm looking it up.
You know what? This is fun. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Okay.
This is perfect because you know what we forgot to do today?
Show a trailer. I was going to ask.
Show a trailer. Yeah. Well, we were so engulfed in the conversation. I was like, I'm not even bringing it up.
Well, we got immediately into the horniness of this movie, which completely...
It was rightfully so.
I was going to remind you, like, hey, because I couldn't remember. I'm like, I don't remember watching the trailer, but I was going to say we could go back and watch it now. But you want to also show me the trailer for Addams Family Reunion?
We're just going to watch Addams Family Reunion's trailer.
Okay, great.
That's all we're going to watch.
We're not going to watch Addams Family Values trailer?
What's the point? We just talked about the whole fucking movie.
Too late? We'll just see.
Oh, is that what you want to do?
See more of Joan Cusack, all dolled up.
All dolled up. Okay, so there's
Swing.
not showing. Ugh. Okay, this says VHS ad. So obviously,
right.
this movie went straight to video.
Okay.
Obviously.
Is some of the original
Obvious.
cast in it, or is it
Oh,
all
fuck
new?
no, bud. Fuck
Okay.
no.
Good. That makes it better. That makes me feel better about it.
I hope that. Well, see, this is what I'm saying. I think this was the plan. I
Right.
think they wanted to make this third one.
They probably had a
And
script.
then Raul
Yeah.
Julia passed away. And so instead of really, they were like, fuck rewrites, fuck this, fuck that. We're doing this. You're going to be shocked when you see who plays Gomez and Morticia.
All right. Holy shit. Let's do it.
The first family of fright is back.
Oh my God.
Glorious day.
In a spectacular comedy.
I'm
the
pretty
whole
sure
family
that's
loves.
Lurch
The Addams Family
from the movies.
Okay.
All those people.
These are your cousins, Wednesday and Pugsley.
The family with that special something are digging into their past
I've just been dying to meet you.
Likewise, of course.
and finding they have more than a few skeletons in their closets.
Our ancestors go all the way back to Vlad the Impaler.
Starring Daryl Hannah as Morticia,
How do I look?
Just to kill.
Tim Curry as Gomez,
That's wild. That's wild.
and Seinfeld's Estelle.
Seinfeld's Estella!
Oh,
And
Seinfeld.
executioner.
Seinfeld.
Wow.
So get into the spirit.
Wow.
Step.
It's a killer comedy. The whole family will be dying to see. The Addams Family Reunion, now on video.
To life, to death, to family. Not necessarily in that order.
From Saban and
Wow.
Warner Brothers Family Entertainment.
From Warner Brothers and the company that makes Power Rangers.
That's insane. Okay, so but Tim Curry is like not a bad get for it.
No, it's not a bad get. The problem is you could tell no one wanted to be there.
yeah. It's still
looking
true.
it up, it is Lurch from the previous two movies. So technically,
okay.
this is the third one.
Right. It's canon.
It's canon, bro.
He's the glue. He's the glue that holds. It's not a different. It's not a multiverse. These are just
There
the
it
same
is.
people. That's wild. And what year did that come out?
19. That said 99, but
Okay.
this says 98.
Oh, interesting. Oh, well, either way. Okay. So it
IMDb
was
says
late.
98.
I see that. Yeah.
Woof.
I see that now.
Big
Yeah,
old
no kidding.
woof.
No kidding.
Seinfeld to Stella.
That's
Oh
funny.
my God.
That's who they're trying to
That was the
advertise to
demo.
come see
That was the
movie.
big star. Not Tim Curry, not Pennywise, not the guy from fucking
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
We need to see-
Seinfeld.
We need to see George Costanza's mother in this movie.
So,
That's what I want
that
to go
was-
see. Oh wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's
That's it.
Addams Family Values. Watch it if it's on, but don't go out of your way to watch it. If you want to
Yeah.
see our first reactions and us watch Addams Family Reunion, you have to leave a like on the video. You
God.
have to comment the video. You have to tell us, reach out to us. We want this. We need this. This is content we want. Otherwise, I'm not
Oh
doing
my
it.
god. Yeah. No.
All right, so thanks for watching and listening. We're on Pod Apps, we're on YouTube as well, and we have a Facebook. So we will catch you next time on Core Memory Unlocked 93, where we are talking Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. Getting
It's
real
time.
spooky.
Get
Love
real
it.
spooky, real spooky. All right, so I'll
Love it.
catch you later. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.